Welcome, beautiful, to the Creating Change podcast with Emma Bradford. Creating change to fall back in love with ourselves and life. Each episode, I'll be offering insightful stories, concepts, and practical takeaways to inspire your day, reconnecting to the authentic essence within. Are you ready, lovely, to embrace yourself even more and awaken to the magic life has to offer? Let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to Creating Change with Emma Bradford. Thank you for joining me. So wonderful to have you here. And today we're diving into a very popular topic, something that is very common. This actually came through as a question from a listener, and I thought to have it as a solo episode as itself, because there's a lot that we can talk about on this topic. So if you have set goals, perhaps you have worked towards something, there's something that you want to bring into your life, whether that's something you're moving towards currently or something in the past. Have you ever felt frustrated when it didn't come as quickly as you thought it would? Or perhaps you were thinking that you're doing all the things that you needed to do and you've structured the goal, you're taking little steps and it still doesn't arrive, and you feel that frustration building and building and building, wondering why you can't get what you want. I certainly have felt that many times in my life, and then in the last 10 years of working in this coaching field, I've seen this happen time and time again also with other people in the industry. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this and possible factors behind this and how we can start overcoming that. First of all, why do we set goals? What's the point of setting goals? There are many reasons, obviously creating improvements in our life, whether that's to do with health or our career, money, relationships, moving forward. If we don't have something to move forward towards and we just remain stuck, then our life can become a little stagnant. And when we're working towards a goal, when we're moving towards a goal, we can actually learn new skills, develop new skills, learn more about ourselves and others and the world. We're constantly growing, evolving on the journey, and it's so wonderful that we can do this through goal setting. It's one way that we can do this. Now, the thing is, with goal setting, sometimes there are hidden shadows that people don't pay attention to. So I've noticed this a lot in the last 10 years in the industry. Sometimes there's the tendency to only focus on goal setting. Goal, 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 move, 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 do, constantly moving forwards and working towards things and forgetting to be in the moment. Forgetting that actually we have so much of what we already want in the present moment. Maybe not in the way that our mind wants it, though we already have so much of what we want. It's already there. If we just look around with curious mindset and discover, okay, if I'm moving towards finding a partner, I want to have a relationship, or I'm moving towards increasing my financial situation, whatever the goal is, we can have a look at our life and uncover, okay, actually, where do I have love coming into my life already? Where do I have money coming into my life already? Doesn't necessarily mean that we don't set goals and we don't increase things or improve things. It's just noticing the balance and the out of the balance between appreciating what we have and continuing to grow and move forward. It's that balance between the masculine and the feminine energies. Some of you might have heard this terminology. So the masculine direction in life, knowing where you want to go, having that clarity and achieving something. And then the feminine pleasure and experiences along that journey is smelling the flowers along the way as we walk along that path towards what we want to bring into our life. Now, just a side note, masculine and feminine has nothing to do with genders. I'm talking about energies here. So it's noticing, what do I want? Take little action steps towards that and also be appreciative of what we currently have and all the gifts in the present moment. Because when we do that, we're able to pick up on extra clues and extra help that then helps us to really make that achievable outcome more of a reality even quicker. You may have heard about SMART goals. So when we're setting goals, creating SMART goals, essentially what that means is making sure that goals are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, or I like to say relevant, and time-bound. So you can find more information about this if you Google SMART goals. I won't go into in depth in this episode. It can be useful when we're working towards something and bringing something into our life to be clear on what we want. Those of you who have my audio program would have heard the story about this, how I spent one summer looking for barbecue spots with a friend, and we were trying to find a good place for a barbecue, and we kept on finding all these places that you could have barbecues, but they were closed, or there was something wrong with it, that we weren't being specific enough. So when we're not specific about what we want and we're just very general, then we don't necessarily find exactly what we want. So for this episode, I want to focus more on the frustration and the possible blocks in what's holding us in achieving what we want to achieve or experiencing what we want to experience in our life. In the coaching world, we focus a lot on limiting beliefs and emotional blockages. So we have the conscious mind and the unconscious mind. And within the unconscious mind, there can be emotional blocks and limiting beliefs that prevent us from actually seeing and experiencing, bringing into our life, attracting these wonderful experiences if we have something that contradicts that. So, for example, if we believe that all relationships are hard, or all men are fill in the blank, or all women are fill in the blank, or all people are fill in the blank, whatever that is for you in terms of relationships. If there's a negative belief there, that can hinder our ability to then create a wonderful, loving relationship in our life. So it's important to look at what we're believing, what we're thinking, believing, and feeling about whatever it is that we want to call into our life. For this episode, I want to introduce different levels that perhaps can give us a clearer insight into how we can align ourselves even more with whatever it is we want to bring into our life. So when we're setting goals, when there's a particular outcome that we want to experience in our life, we can check in and just ask ourselves, are all levels in alignment? Am I in alignment with whatever it is I want to bring into my life, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually? Often the spiritual one is what people forget about. So physically, what that means for me personally, that is tuning into the physical body, noticing how do things feel. The body is so wise, it's constantly giving us messages. Does our body tense up? Does it tighten? Or does it relax and expand? How do we feel within our chest, within our abdomen, as we think about whatever it is that we want to bring into our life? How is the body communicating about that? Now, obviously, the body is directly linked with the mind and the emotions, so it can be linked. If there's a limiting belief there or emotional block, there can be something linked there. It's often useful just to pay attention to it, like what's coming up within the body. How does the body feel? And then if we look at the mental side of things and the emotional side of things, that's what I was talking about earlier about the beliefs and the emotions. So if there are specific negative beliefs that we're holding that contradict whatever we want to bring into our life, or emotional blockages, whether there's any fear or anger. There are so many ways that we can move through this. And if you go back to the episode talking about limiting beliefs, you can hear about how to break down limiting beliefs. And with emotions, finding some creative, constructive outlet can be really wonderful, allowing that energy in motion to flow through us. So we can ask ourselves, am I mentally in alignment with what I want to bring into my life? Am I thinking positive about it? Am I believing positive beliefs about it? Am I emotionally in alignment with what I want to bring into my life? Am I tapping into how wonderful that will feel and really feeling that within the body? And am I listening to the signals and the messages of the body in relation to what I want to bring into my life? And it's also important to notice if there are any internal conflicts there. So whatever it is we're moving towards, is that in conflict with something that we hold and believe and value within ourselves? And are we moving towards this goal, this desired outcome, for us and only us? Or is this something that our parents want, or that our peers want, or that society wants? Because if it's not really for us, then we may be self-sabotaging and preventing ourselves from actually achieving that, because it's not really what we want deep, deep, deep down. So spending some time to reflect on this can be really useful, and just getting clear. Who is this for? Is it for me, or is it for someone else? Do I hold any values that are in conflict with this new thing I want to bring into my life? For example, if we really value freedom and we want to bring in a new relationship, and on some level we hold beliefs that relationships will take away that freedom, which is not necessarily the case. So if there are some beliefs there and that are in conflict and they're related to certain values that we hold, this could be an issue. So really getting clear on this can be useful. And noticing what the feeling is that we're looking for, because essentially whatever new thing we want to bring into our life, it's often about a feeling. We're looking to feel something, connect to joy, happiness, love, connection, freedom, peace. What is it that we're really looking for? What's the goal beyond the goal? Like, what's the desired aspect of that within the goal? Because often it's not about the new house, it's not about the new person, the new relationship. Is about something else much, much deeper. And identifying that, we can identify, where do I have that in my life already? Something to ponder, or something to consider about. And the last one is the spiritual component. And this is often what people forget about. And it's really important. Like, whilst we can have full influence over our life and really make massive differences and changes just by changing the story, the internal story of our beliefs, our thoughts, shifting emotional states, there is a far greater picture. The spiritual component plays a role too. We have free will on how we go about things in life. Though in this human experience, we have a soul, we have an ego, we have this identity, yet we are part of this greater collective. We're a spark of consciousness that's part of this. And that spark of consciousness almost has a flavor, if you like. And that's how I like to see the soul, this energy. We have this consciousness, yet we have this individual energy, this vibration. And this soul sometimes has particular things that it wants to experience in this human experience. So if this is not according to your belief system, if this is a bit far out and a bit too much, I just invite you to open your mind with curiosity, and just for the next couple of minutes, just be open to considering this as a perspective. Afterwards, you can go about your day and think about and believe things how you wish, like whatever resonates for you. Just for the next couple of minutes, just get curious about, I wonder, if I have a soul within, what is its purpose? What is its mission? Like, what does it want to experience in this lifetime? And am I setting goals only according to my mind and my identity, my ego? Or am I also listening to the whispers of my soul? Am I also listening to what deep, deep, deep within I've come here to experience in this human experience? Now, this may be a new concept for many people, and this may be a little challenging in the beginning to really know what our soul wants and what that deeper direction is in life. This is why different modalities can really help us to understand this, whether that is astrology, numerology, or other modalities out there. I have experience with numerology. I do numerology readings for people as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can get in contact. Just send me an email, info@emmabradford.net. And through numerology, which is looking at our date of birth, we can actually identify possible directions of and lessons of what our soul wants to experience in this lifetime, and use that in conjunction with what our mind wants. So linking the soul and the mind, and also listening to the emotional body, the physical body, creating this wholehearted goal-setting picture rather than only focusing on one aspect. And if you're a little bit skeptical about numerology, then tap into that curiosity. I wonder what you could discover. And at the end of the day, you don't need to take on everything that comes up with that. You can literally just explore, get curious, and take what resonates and leave the rest. There are many different forms of numerology. I work with the form of Pythagoras. So this is based on the work of Pythagoras and his students. So this has been going on for many, 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 many years. And it's a really wonderful way to identify what our soul destiny is, like what direction our soul wants to go into in this lifetime and what it actually wants to focus on. So if anyone's interested in that, just let me know. And in the meantime, as you're moving towards your goals for 2022 or another year, if you're listening to this well in the future, I encourage you just to notice, as you're moving towards something, notice how your body is responding, what the messages are of your body and your emotions. Are there any blockages there? Any fears, any resentment, anger, anything that's coming up in relation to what you want to bring into your life, whether that's a relationship or a different job or a new house? Are there any limiting beliefs there? Work through those, challenge those, and also pay attention to what is going on spiritually, what your soul wants. See if you can find a wholehearted way to move through all of those different levels and really achieve those goals that you want to achieve. So step by step, not forgetting the present moment, because often when we let go of attachment of what we want and come back to the present moment, we're able to allow that to come into our life a lot quicker. Having love and gratitude for all that we have and all that we are already is one of the biggest keys here. So I wish you so much love and insight and fun on your journey as you move along this path towards whatever it is you want to bring into your life. And I wonder how many wonderful gifts you'll find along the way. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, beautiful. You're amazing. All resources and links can be found on my website, www.emmabradford.net. Link is in the show description. Do come and join my community and share your takeaways from this episode. I'd really love to hear. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time, I wonder, what magic will you experience in life today?